Hey everyone, just a quick recap of the last winter storm system that moved from the upper Midwest down into the mid Atlantic late last week and early into the weekend. There were some unhappy snow lovers in the DMV area. Once we got into Saturday morning, a lot of expectations for some moderate to significant snowfall, and that didn't verify. So I'm going to go through why that occurred, what actually happened, why the forecast changed, and how WX Horizon looked at it a day ahead of time. So, with the National Weather Service, they had upgraded winter weather advisories to winter storm warnings in a lot of locations for 3 to 5+ inches of snowfall. And even local outlets, too, were calling for the same 3 to 5 inches in a lot of areas with some lesser amounts as you got further south and east. This was because the models were showing higher snowfall accumulation outputs and heavier precipitation. So what happened here? Well, that didn't verify. If you look at the actual snowfall totals around the area, there was only about, a half an inch to an inch of snowfall in the DC proper area. And even in the DMV, maybe 2 inches, maybe 3 if you got lucky to the further north and west suburbs. Now, this was occurring because of a couple different things. The first is because of the fast movement of the storm and really the lack of precipitation over an extended period of time. If we look at the DC area radar from the early morning hours of Saturday, February 17th, you can see the loop from about 1:45 a.m. to about 2:45 a.m. So the precipitation is moving quickly off to the east, and there's a really sharp cutoff on the back end there. So there was only a window, because this started at roughly after midnight, there was only a window of about 2 to 3 hours of precipitation to allow that surface to cool down and allow the accumulation to occur within the area. The second was because of surface temperatures. So surface temperatures, road temperatures were well above freezing the day before, and that doesn't always have an impact. However, they remained elevated throughout the entire duration of the event. So the surface sensors that we have in the area, not one of them dropped below freezing during the snowfall event in the DMV area. So that allowed any snowfall that did fall, and it was heavy at times, any snowfall that did fall initially melted on the surface, and then especially on the roadways. There wasn't much, if any, accumulation on the roadways during this event due to those elevated pavement temperatures. And you can see from this example here in Reston, Virginia, right outside DC, where there was some snow that did stick on the grass, but the pavement and the sidewalks were only wet. So looking at WX Horizon ahead of time, this was about 11 a.m. the day before. Same time, the National Weather Service had upgraded their winter weather advisories, and same time, the local outlet had updated their forecast for higher snowfall totals. With us, we're expecting less than an inch of snow because we're factoring in those surface temperatures into the equation. And you really do. You have to do that. You have to factor in those surface temperatures into the equation. We have the benefit of having sensors there and being able to collect that data in the localized areas. So this is in Fairfax. We knew exactly what the surface temperatures were going to be. We could see them in real time, and we were able to use that data to produce a much more accurate surface temperature forecast. So ahead of time, we knew, yes, there was going to be snow. Yes, it was going to be heavy at times, but those surface temperatures were going to remain elevated, which ultimately helps the public works departments know that they don't have to go out and treat, or maybe they can do a light treatment instead of a heavy treatment. The other thing was, too, you can see on the screen with WX Horizon, is the limited amount of precipitation falling, or the limited time period. So it was going to start around midnight, was going to end around 3 a.m. That's a very quick period for snow to fall, especially when you needed to get those surface temperatures cooled for accumulations. So that was another big reason why there was a lack of accumulation within the DMV area. So a couple different things that caused those unhappy feelings from the DC snow lovers. But those types of things will happen during these winter weather events, and ultimately a heavier band of snow that lasted a longer duration set up well north of this area. So it's not going to happen for every event, but having those additional features or indicators like the surface temperature is really helpful when we're talking about predicted snowfall accumulations.